The chairman of the Committee of Pro-Chancellors of State-Owned Universities, our own very dear Malam Yusuf Ali SAN, a great legal luminary, one of Africa's best, and the chairman of Council of Osun State University that has done so well for the development of that university. We're very proud of you, sir. Other chairmen of councils of state-owned universities, the keynote address speaker, my Oga, a wonderful man that is cited all over the world as an exemplar of good governance in higher education institutions. In his own case now, a Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, Professor Isiaku Oloyede, thank you for that exciting keynote speech that you gave in the morning. Our host, Vice Chancellor, Professor Odunayo Clement Adeboye. Oh, congratulations on assuming office as Vice Chancellor of Osun State University. And by your name, Odunayo, the years that you're going to spend as Vice Chancellor in Osun State University will be years of joy, years of development, years of peace. So congratulations again. And I'd like to appreciate and thank Professor Anthony Kola Olusanya, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and the other portfolios that is given to do in Osun State University. The chairman was the chairman of the local organizing committee. We're very lucky in Osun State University for having Professor Anthony Kola Olusanya. And I'm telling you, as a great God of heaven and earth liveth, Osun State, you go to get to very, very great heights. This afternoon we'll be looking at quality assurance and the demand for a career-ready education in the 21st century and beyond. Oh, this is beyond me, 21st century and beyond. Now, I'm going to situate this presentation from now till for 10 years, now till 2032. So this, what I'm going to be saying here is not going to go beyond 2032 because of the dynamism of changes, developments in the higher education system. In 5 years, a lot of things will have happened. Now, the theme of our meeting is state-owned dynamics, university councils, and the need for a new social contract between society and university. My piece of the cake in this presentation is to look at social contract of producing career-ready graduates. So what are the issues that we'll be taking on today? We'll be looking at quality assurance and state university system. Like you know, where's the Nigerian university system, so this will be like a subsystem. We'll look at career-ready education, determinants of career-ready education. Hey, CC Mass, how many of you can decode this one? This is core curriculum minimum academic standards. That's actually the heart of the matter of one of this presentation. I'm going to look at the challenges to produce career-ready graduates within the ambit of quality assurance. So what is the central theme? The central theme is quality assurance. So what is quality assurance? I'll just take a minute or two to give you my understanding. And many of you understand and can define quality assurance more than I do, but my definition, which I provided some while ago, is this. That's the process of planning. You can see the qualifiers of planning and implementing the systematic activities that will provide confidence that a product or service will fulfill and maintain specified levels of quality. Now, what's the scope? You have input when you're looking at the system. You have input, process, output, outcomes. So the quality assurance has this scope. A question that I've often find people ask is, how is quality assurance different from accreditation? This will be of some interest to our pro-chancellors, honorable pro-chancellors that are here, because keep hearing accreditation. Was accreditation quality assurance? Yes and no, because quality assurance is the umbrella term and includes accreditation. So accreditation is just a subset of quality assurance. You have external examiner system, you have student assessment of lecturers, you have visitations. As I speak, yesterday, the Honorable Minister of Education, a great man indeed, Madam Adamu Adamu, set in motion the machinery for drafting the white paper for division panel reports to federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. So that one is quality assurance, part of the operation of the system. Entrance exam for students, UTME, post-UTME, or part of quality assurance. Interview for staff appointment and promotion, external assessment of publications. These are all parts of quality assurance. So what am I saying on this slide? What we're saying here is that yes, accreditation is not quality assurance, just a subset of quality assurance. What about quality assurance and quality control? I'm sorry, I'm talking about what I'm sure you all are familiar with. But there's a difference between quality assurance and quality control. And I'll summarize this difference on this table. And because I'm not going to spend too much time on this, let me just explain to you. Now, you have a tomato puree factory. Quality control is at the end of it, where you check, oh, this has some defect, throw away. This is fine, you go be packaged for the market. But quality assurance is every station leading to the end. You quality assure. You check the tomatoes going to the system. You check that the water that's being used, the additives and all that. Every station you check. So quality assurance focuses a proactive process, and it goes step by step. But quality control is at the end. Now we're looking at the quality of state universities in Nigeria. In a little while, I think by next week, you'll be getting this. My big Oga, Abubakar Damorashi, the best executive secretary that NUC has ever had, comes up every year since he assumed office with the state of university education in Nigeria, with data gleaned from all universities in the system. So we're talking about career-ready graduates. So what was the quality that we have measured for 2020? And you'll find that for state universities, for teaching, I'm going to go through teaching, research, and community service. You find field work, hardly, practicals, and it goes on and on. Technology, assisted learning methods, LMS, you can see 79.2. I wonder if you can explain this graph. Yes, I know you can. So the explanation is that by 2020, we're locked down. And so many people, the delivery or teaching was mainly here and very scant for field work and the rest. So what about research? Research, you will see that papers published in highly rated local international journals, you have this as 50. Actually, these are percentages, really, and you have the rest that you can see. So performance was just fair for state universities. If you compare this with private and federal universities, the state universities didn't do too badly, but they were not the best. What about community service in 2020? Sports, security, and the rest. Yeah, you have all of these things here. Not too bad too, but not the best. So career-ready education. What are the determinants? You see, talking about career ready, in the system, we have the input, as I mentioned earlier, you have the process, and you have the output. Let's look at this in a little more detail. Career ready, the students that you are taking in that you want to be career ready, in terms of their motivation, in terms of their willingness to learn, their attitude to work, to study, and and other psychosocial variables, intelligence, learning styles, and the rest. The teachers, qualification, experience, non-teaching staff, managers, curriculum, facilities, and the rest. The process will be, look, you are now in class, all of these inputs are now being mixed into this pot. Teaching and learning processes, what methods of delivery, what methods of evaluation, research, quality, quantity of research, use of time and space, and the rest here. Output, yes, that's the career-ready thing. Skilled and employable graduates, responsible citizens, and the rest that you can see here. Are we delivering career education equitably, efficiently, effectively, and with relevance? So this is important model for describing career-ready education. Now let's take on the matter of the curriculum, which is at the heart of this. Many of you will have heard, or maybe some of you will have said, that, oh, the curriculum of Nigerian university is very poor, very irrelevant, very dated, or if you like, outdated. Now, let me give you the journey to this core curriculum minimum academic standards that will be out in about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. Started with minimum academic standards, MAS. It got on to benchmark statements, where minimum academic standards were shelved and just have benchmark statements. When I got into office as a secretary 21 years ago, yes, 21 years ago, said, okay, look, let's merge benchmark statements with all the strengths, take minimum academic standard with strengths, and so we came up 21 years ago with what we call the benchmark minimum academic standards. So, dear pro-chancellors, you have been hearing BMAS. That's what that means. Benchmark minimum academic standards. But if you checked globally, you find that BMAS is dated, completely outdated. So to rise to the challenge of contemporariness, if you like, the National Universities Commission under Professor Abubakar Damorash, as I mentioned, very brilliant man, far-sighted, said, okay, fine. So let's move along with the global time, the global movement. Let's rise to let's be contemporary. So now have the core curriculum, minimum academic standard. I'll talk about this for about a minute as I proceed. So this was developed 2021. We closed it 2021, but it's going to be out in 2022 this month, I reckon. So you have architecture, agriculture. So you have the top 10 unique features for each of these disciplines. By the way, discipline, let me explain that again. These are disciplines, like education is a discipline. That within education, you have programs. Education has like 42 programs, like BSc Education Biology, BSc Education Geography, BSc Guidance and Counseling, or BEd Guidance and Counseling, Law, Engineering and Technology. So you have all of these things there. Science, quite a lot of programs within that discipline. So what are the major highlights of the 2022 core curriculum minimum academic standards in relation to career-ready education? One thing, not in any order, is that the content is comparable to similar curricula in best university systems in the world. How did we come to this conclusion? Because we compared them. We invited people in every discipline, every program. We invited Nigerian diaspora and other scholars in top-rate universities. So look at this. How does it compare with yours? And they will find that, well, it's comparable by the end of the review and further development, and relevant to Nigeria's socio-cultural context. And it addresses knowledge gaps we found because when you're doing curriculum review, you got to do needs assessment, labor market survey, and all that to say, look, our graduates in law, how are they measuring up? What are the knowledge gaps? What are the skills gaps? So we got all of that and we bridged the gap. So to address this knowledge and skills gaps in the curriculum, it is replacing. So one unique thing here is that while BMAS, which came up while I was in office, says that every course there that we have as compulsory, all the universities must take. But this one is like the democratic. Look, in some other university systems, you don't have this thing happening. You leave the universities like Harvard, MIT, King's College, all of this to innovate, get their own curricula. And the quality assurance person will measure them on the basis of what they have. But you see, we can't do that now in Nigeria, because if you do, you are going to get Professor Isiakolede, cacophony of voices in terms of the curriculum. It will be completely watered down. You have the spectrum from the very good ones to the very poor ones, and it will just be different graduates. I mean, it won't go well for the system. So what NUC is hoping to do is to gradually, on a sliding scale, while I was in office, it was 100%. Now, Baba Mi Rashid, that's Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, I fondly call him that, is 70%. Maybe in another 5 years, it will be 50%. In another 10 years, it will be like 10%, and maybe 20 years from now, it will be zero. Living out the university will have matured, to that state. So, but for now, 70%, that means any graduate of law, of engineering, of agriculture, whatever, in the Nigerian university system will take the same core curriculum. Now, the university is now allowed, like Osun State University, like Ladoke Akitola University, and the rest that members of this committee will now develop their own, customize it, and add the 30% to reflect the uniqueness of their mission and their contextual peculiarities. I find this particular bit to be one of the strengths of the CCMAS to produce career-ready graduates. Now, I place accent on entrepreneurship, practical rather than theoretical knowledge and skills, and the development of 21st century skills. Every program, every discipline, of course, the disciplines make up the program. The programs make up the discipline, emphasizes 21st century skills. And I've mentioned this one, we've changed the thing from benchmarks, minimum academic standards, BMAS, to core curriculum, minimum academic standards. We have unbundled agriculture. When I use that plural pronoun we, I don't mean one or two or three persons, but the entire Nigerian university system. Let me tell you how it went. There was a survey of the gaps that are there, and a group was brought together, to do a draft. And that draft for every program, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, sent to all universities in Nigeria. So go to Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor, this program is for law, so to the law faculty. This program is BA History to arts. This program is for this to that. So everybody in the Nigerian university had an opportunity to review, make their inputs, and then from the Senate back to Senate, and Senate collated of every university, and then sent to NUC. And when this got to NUC, NUC then convened a meeting that lasted, a meeting of experts, international, local, diaspora, everybody, the academies, the private sector, all the major stakeholders, the other professional bodies, brought them together. Let's now finalize this. And it went on and went on. And then we had some on-site meetings and so quite was a 2.5-year journey. Then towards the end, we found that, in 2.5 years, knowledge, because of dynamism, changed. Skills that are needed, there are more current ones. So the version that came out in December of January, actually in January, has reflected the current development in all the programs. But the interesting thing is that by the time it's released, the CCMAS is released, by the end of March, it's already outdated. But we're going to live with that for another 5-year cycle when it will now be renewed. So agriculture, architecture, unbundled to all of these things here. Basic medical sciences split into that. Yes, this one is important. GST. GST appropriated 36 credit units. Huge. So that has been reduced to 6 courses of 12 credit units. Entrepreneurship as a program has been repackaged, and the number of academic disciplines has been increased from 14 to 17. Now, what about quality assurance of other variables in the model for producing career-ready graduates? The teachers. You have to quality assure the kind of teachers you are bringing in. You have to quality assure the promotion, that's appointment, promotion criteria. What do you have now? You have people, you have professors, some, I'm not making absolute statements here, some professors that are not worthy of being let's take University of Ibadan as a marker. Some state-owned universities, some private universities, they just appoint, because they appoint people to professorial grade that will not qualify to be lecturer grade 1 or senior lecturer at the University of Ibadan or any of our first generation universities. Why? Because the conditions for the criteria for assessing are weak. So the person will come and say, I have 100 publications. I'm a senior lecturer, I'm an associate professor, 100 publications. Put all of those publications together, they are not more than one. What do you have? Kitty Journal of this, Osun State Journal of Osun College of Education Journal of this, and all that. All those journals with very weak editorial rigor, and they don't stand anywhere. That is why when you do Google Scholar citations, you find that these professors are not cited. I have had to check the Google Scholar, the citation rankings of many of our professors. I just had my head in shame. And you then ask, how did they become professors? Because you, pro-chancellors, have allowed that to happen. So we have to call it, and these are the people who we are going to say produce career-ready graduates. They're not going to do that. Non-teaching staff, they say teaching and learning processes, the delivery of the curriculum, lecture, old notes. They say, what's the nomenclature now? They say it's yellow page lecturers. Yellow pages. All archaic notes that they used before. That's it. So many people are not modern. The students too, the facilities. Very. You see, if you removed TED fund from the equation of physical development of many of our universities, especially state universities. Of course, we're not looking at public for TED fund, federal and state. Many of the state universities will look like glorified primary schools. In my village, you want to know my village? Come ask me. So the facilities, in terms of maintenance, in terms of we have some challenge there, and so you want to train people, students, to be career ready within that environment. That's some challenge. So I've mentioned some places as the challenges. Inertia to change. Many people want to get stuck in their own rut, stuck in their ways. So we've been doing this before. So inertia to change, but they must change because the world is changing. And then we have inadequacies in human and material resources. I mentioned this in relation to the TED fund intervention. Resourcing of our universities. You need to go to universities in Egypt, where they're better ranked than us, to South Africa, where they're better ranked than us. That's in Africa. Go to Kenya. Now, if you go to North America, to Europe, to Asia, you find that we are grossly inadequate in terms of resources for teaching, for research, and the rest. And then we have this as a challenge. You say career ready. Career ready, when you to do a 4-year program, you end up with about 6-7 years because of instability of academic calendar, like we have right now. Today is March 22nd. Most universities are closed. So when they will open, you don't know. So uncoordinated expansion of public universities is a shame, big shame for many of our state governments. They have set up one university. They are not funding that university well. And in one breath, they're saying, okay, you go and generate revenue internally. I don't want to use that word rubbish, but go generate internally. It's like telling your little baby that's about 2 years, a 2-year-old baby, go and be fending for yourself. No, the mother, the parents, you got to fend for this child to be able to grow up to a stage where they are Nigerian people. I'm sure in this meeting, you are quick to cite Harvard is making this. Do you know when Harvard was established? 1636. So nobody should come here and tell me, Peter Okebukola, that because this thing are doing. They go trace the history of Harvard. The establishment saw initial investment into the university. So take the history of any of Oxford, Cambridge, all of them. So because Oxford is doing it, Osun State University, that's like a toddler, should also do it. No, the parent of the university should fund that university up to a point. Now, so what is happening? You have not finished funding the state-owned university, and the governor will now open 6 more universities. That's recipe for chaos. I must tell them, and of course, I told anyway, they know they hear. We'll continue to talk to tell them on coordinated expansion. You don't have teachers for the few that you have, and now every House of Assembly person will want to establish a university, polytechnic, or college of education in his or her village. What kind of country are we running? The National Universities Commission has been saddled with orderly development of university education, but the National Assembly, even state government, the National Assembly, taking that power or usurping that power. So it's just a big shame. What are the recommendations that I have as I close this? The councils of our universities should support Senate, because Senate matter, chairman of council, don't dabble into academic matters. Just leave Senate to do it. Your vice chancellor, who is chair of Senate, will be reporting to you, or you have oversight, general oversight. So support Senate to strengthen the Quality Assurance Directorates and implementation of the CCMAS. CCMAS that aims to produce career-ready graduates. CCMAS is coming out soon. So when it's out, support Senate to implement it with a high degree of fidelity. So I'm sure you have strategic plans. And if you don't have, I know Osun State under Malam Yusuf Ali, you have something really, really good, which I cite as model. So develop and implement this strategic plan that gives access to career-ready education. And then you call Senate. Look, you say career-ready education, you have been producing some people. Huh? So no problem. Trace them. Don't trace studies. Tell your Senate, tell your VC, next council meeting, give us the report of tracer studies of our graduates so that you can document the gaps in the delivery process. And when you have done so, tell Senate, in league with council, to see how these gaps can be expeditiously filled. And we have national and global rankings which are meant to increase the visibility and reputation of your universities, state-owned universities, and the rest, and enhance career opportunities of your graduates. I would be pleased if the chair of councils would remind your vice chancellors that we need to be part of this. I'm not able to attend this meeting physically because we have graduation coming up in National Open University of Nigeria, where I serve as chairman of council. And also, we are preparing a general assembly, which I'm coordinating on global rankings of university, especially Times Higher Education ranking. So this is important for our pro-chancellors. Once again, I thank you for the honor of asking me to be part of this event. I wish you all very successful conference. Up the Committee of Pro-Chancellors of State-owned Universities of Nigeria. God bless us all.